morning, good afternoon, good evening, anywhere you hear me from all over the world. Welcome back to Let's Just Talk. It's your girl Victoria again, and I'm back with the tea as usual. So, today I have with us a very, very special person who is going to be with us on the long run. She's going to be my co host, and we're both going to be growing the podcast together and inviting people coming back up to talk with us. So, without further ado, I'm going to have her introduce herself. You got the floor.
Yes, hey guys, I'm so excited to be here. My name is Kayla. I currently live in Virginia and I am 22 years old. I have always wanted to do a podcast, so I am very grateful to be here with Miss Victoria, and hopefully we'll give you guys some good content down the road.
Yay! I'm excited for the journey, girl. So, all right. So, today we're just gonna be going a little bit back and forth on life as a woman, what life really is as a woman, and everything. So, just a heads up before we get deep into it, guys out there, it's no disrespect to you. We're just really focusing on the women today. We would sometimes come around and talk about the men, but we're just really focusing on what it takes to be a woman today, and how tough or easy it is to be a woman and everything. And I mean, you can always disagree with us later on. Drop a comment, DM, anything. You can always disagree with us, and we're open to learning from you guys. But this is just how we view it. This is our point of view. So, moving on, Kayla,
Yeah.
what do you think it takes, or what do you think a life as a woman really is?
So, life as a woman, it varies in different aspects as far as what we go through, motherhood, um, jobs, discrimination, and basically what we go through as a woman, because women are sometimes looked down at because people think that we're women and we really don't have a backbone and we're not strong enough. But women can really do anything. So, being a woman varies through everything.
All right. So, just in your understanding, what are the things that really, what are those attributes that really makes a woman a woman?
So, making a woman a woman, I feel like you just have to be around positive things, like be in a positive environment, and really just trying to learn for yourself, even if you never had like a mom or a father who really didn't teach you how to be a woman. I feel like you can really learn by yourself, then try and you know hustle yourself, be independent, and really, if you have your own job and you out here making money, you have a living, then I would say you're a woman doing big things for herself.
Right. So, with women these days, I mean, we got strong women out there. Trust me, they're doing good for themselves and everything. But there are a few women out there who are really not self-aware about themselves just because of what they've been through, what they've told them, and they're just like really a reflection of what people say they are. What's your take on that?
Well, I would say reason why some women is not aware of themselves is because maybe during their childhood, they probably didn't really have parents in their life, and they went through traumatic things. So now they really don't respect themselves, not aware of themselves, and now they're just making bad decisions, and you know that's really a big aspect of it. And sometimes they probably did have parents and they taught them that, but some women just choose not to. And it could be because, like I said, traumatic experiences, or they don't know if they don't know their worth, basically.
Right. Okay. So, like for me, because I've seen a few women who really don't understand who they are, and this is not because they don't know who they are. It's just what people had told them, like, okay, so as a woman you're supposed to be a follower, or um um you're supposed to be slow, or you're supposed to like not do certain things, and that just really limits them with what they do and how they do it. So what would be something you would tell a woman who is really not aware of herself to do, like what would be your what advice for a woman who's really not aware of herself?
I will say that they should really just surround themselves around positive things. Like, if they are going through something traumatic and they're the ones that's causing it, I will tell them to change that. Put their minds into something that will help them grow. As in, like, say they have like bad friends, like, get yourself out of that group and go towards good people. If
Right.
they have a bad relationship, get yourself out of that and work on yourself positive.
Right.
Um,
Right.
Basically, just being a positive environment, it really helps and changes a lot.
Yeah, I totally I support you on that one because I mean I have been with a few friends who really didn't impart my life, and it had a real big toll on me along the line where I had to really like kind of rephrase myself and pull back on myself and like kind of make corrections. And I mean going on, I've been filtering out my friends, and I can
Right.
say boldly that right now the people that I have around me, my friends, partners, family that I let come around me or get in my space, they're like really people who can um, impact my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, I really think that's one thing to help ladies self-aware, like self-aware of themselves, or I'm gonna say women self-aware of themselves, the set of people they have around them. Because I mean, if as a lady you have a friend who sees herself below being a woman, who sees herself as little, as you know, lower than she's definitely one way or the other gonna pull you down with her. So yeah, I totally support on having positive people and positive energy around you. So with the woman that you are now, how do you think your childhood has really helped or impacted your impacted the woman that you are right now?
Well, I would say when I was younger, I really didn't have the best childhood, mostly because it was sometimes me. I kept putting myself in the wrong crowd, and
Right.
that really took a big damage toll on that. But as I grew older and realized like what I've done, I changed that. I changed everything I did, and when I did, I grew more and I learned more and I became more self-aware and more respectful of myself.
Okay, so if it's not intruding your privacy, do you want to tell us a little bit about like your childhood and how it has helped you like grow into the woman that you are today?
Yes, so my childhood, I was bullied really bad, like really bad, picked on, and I really didn't know how to cope with that. And of course, I was talking to people or friends that I did have at the time, but their advice really didn't push me. Like, I was still depressed and I didn't know what to do, and that's what really made me like be unaware of myself. Like, I didn't take care of myself and I wasn't respectful of myself. I was angry, had mental health issues, and it was just a lot. And when I grew older, junior year, I became more aware of myself. I didn't get really help therapy, but as I grew, I now just focus on myself and I put myself in positive areas as far as friends, relationships, or environment. So that was a big impact. And I also moved towards God. So I prayed, prayed, and prayed. And eventually, I became more aware. And that's what basically made me the woman I am today.
Okay, so you said you didn't get professional help. What, but was there help from like people who had gone through like the similar thing that you're going through
Yeah, I
and
did have like
stuff
a
like that?
little class called YCAP. Those people had the same problems as me, but it didn't really help me out in the long run. It maybe helped me out for 1 month, and after that, it just went downhill because I feel like it wasn't really helping me anymore.
Right.
So yeah, I just had to do it all by myself.
Okay. So, so you feel like, do you think the experiences that you had back then reshaping you into the woman that you are today? Like, because you work right now, right? And you have a house of your own and you're by yourself and you're doing good for yourself. So do you think your experience from back then helped reshaping you into who you are right now?
Yes, most definitely. And I live with my mom, but I do have, yeah, I am a security guard. Most definitely impacted me today because, just looking back at it and what I could have done differently, I'm doing now. So, yes, I would definitely say it had a big impact.
Okay, that's really good. I mean, at least you had a childhood that helped you right now. There are some people whose their childhood was really traumatic and they're just stuck in what they're dealing with as a child, and it's really made them like totally not doing well for themselves right now. At least you got a job. You can do what you want to do when you want to do it the way you want to do it. But there are women who really cannot do all of that just because they're stuck in their past. So that's a good thing, at least, we
Mm-hmm.
know that was a plus to you, even if you had times where you had to, get help from people because you was bullied or because they picked on you and all of that. But at least he helped you now, and now you know better than to allow anybody bully you or make them see you less of who you really are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So also, what do you think? What's your take on the discrimination of gender and gender choices? Because I mean, being in the United States, I have been in situations whereby a man at a job, they're offering a man and a woman the same job with the same job description, everything being the same, but they're offering the man a higher income than the lady. So, what's your take on it?
I definitely feel like it's unfair. I feel like we can all make the same pay and do the same things, but
Hmm.
men just think because we're women we're weaker, and in some areas we really can't handle it, which is very much not true.
Right,
You know, um, now today's world, we're still not being looked at as we can do everything, but it's some communities that's really pushing so they can see that women can really do this stuff. Women can do like what military, police, firefighters, most of that is just for men, but women can do it too. So, I definitely feel like it should all just be fair. And
right,
one of my biggest aspects is also sexuality, um, sexual partners, how men can like have a lot of sexual partners and women can't because we would be judged really hard other than men. And I feel like that's also unfair, and that's a big thing in the world, a really
right.
big thing. And I
Right.
don't like it. It should all be fair.
Right. Because I mean, I don't know of any other woman out there, but I'm a big supporter of if you can do it, I can do it too. If I'm not doing it, I'm just choosing not to because I respect you. So for men who feel like, well, I can have multiple partners and I can be with this lady and that lady and that lady, I make it look like, well, I can be with this man and that man and that man as well. I'm just choosing not to because I do respect you and I respect my relationship, but that don't mean I can't do what I want to do if I have to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So plus also there's a part that really just, you know, tickles me, the part where they do the body count on a man and a woman.
Yeah.
And if a man had messed around with like 50 girls and is only 25, they're
Hmm.
looking at him like, ooh, you're the king of girls. Like you can catch them however way you want. But if a lady who is 35 and messed around with 10 men, they look at her like, girl, oh, no, you've done this. You are just lose and all of that. What's your take on that part?
Um, like I said, it's just very unfair of I don't even know why we counting partners for women. No, I'm not that kind of woman, but I just I just don't like how they just put that all on us.
Right.
And they tell us we should have morals and respect ourselves, but men should be told the same thing. Just because they're a man, they can just do what they want. It's just I don't know. it's basically it is unfair.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
second you on that part. It is unfair, but then it's the world that we live in. It is what it is.
Right, right.
Yeah, but then, so are you a mom?
No, I am not very single.
Okay, because I'm a mom, and when we talk about women, we want to include the mothers. Like the single moms, the married moms, the um um every kind of mom, the surrogate moms, the adopted mom, the moms who do adoptions, the foster mom, and everything. Because pretty much I've learned a lot when I became a mom, and it has really changed a lot about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was single with no child, I used to be the party kind, the one that wants to go out. I mean, not that wants to go out, but like I always throw a party in my house. I wasn't really never like the going out kind of one, but I wanted to throw a party in my house. I wanted a house party. I wanted my friends around and everything. But after I got pregnant, like I became more concerned about my decisions about partying and doing certain things. Like it really changed a lot about me, where every decision I make had to, like, you know I had to think about my daughter. I had to think about how is it going to affect her, even if not right now, in the long run. It might be a few years from now. How is she going to feel about this decision that I made? You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it's different when it comes to men, because they keep doing what they want to do. And this is no disrespect to men out there. Like,
Mm-hmm. Right,
they're
right.
doing what they got to do, but it's just different for men, because they before and after they have the baby, I feel like they remain the same. Some things might change with them, like mentally, like, okay, now I got a child, I got to be more responsible, I have to, provide more money, I have to be there for my child, and all of that. But still, I feel
Mhm.
like the decisions still don't change, because they still do what they want to do.
Right.
So, like, what's your take on that part? Because I mean, I don't want to be like the one who thinks that way, because I know I'm not selfish. But then, like, what's your take on
I
it?
mean, you're definitely correct. Majority of these men, when the babies come, they disappear. They don't want to take responsibility. They get frustrated with the kids and they want to take a step back and just let the mom do everything. But, that's not the case. Some men think just buying diapers and just holding the baby and just being around the baby, they think that's what all they have to do. But no, you know, the mothers do so much more. And I feel like definitely if you're a man and you don't have a job, then you definitely need to be helping 10 times more. You know what I mean? But it's understandable if you're a man and you do have a job and you have to work all the time. But I feel like in that type of situation, the mom and the dad should work on a schedule of their job so they can both be there for the baby a lot of times. But majority of mothers have to take real deep care. We do the most than men, to be honest.
Yeah. And I
Mm-hmm.
really feel sorry for women out there who have their partners, but it just looks like they don't have a partner. Whereas they got to go to work, you got to put your child in like a child care system while
Mm-hmm.
you are out there hustling and trying to make money and everything. And you come back home and you got to take care of the child, and you got to take care of your house, and you got to take care of your partner. And you still got to like pay bills and all of that. Like, don't get me wrong. I get it where I have to help my partner, or I have to help you know, my boyfriend, my husband, my fiance. I have to help. I get that part. But what I don't get is, why am I doing all these and you're not being a dad? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, why am I doing all of this and you're not helping? You're not supportive and nothing like that. And most crazy is always crazy when what you can do before you was pregnant. Like, for instance, you had a business before you got pregnant or before you had your baby, and after you had the baby, a man who is not willing to help you will look you in the face and tell you, like, well, I want you to stop your business because I need you to focus on my family. Like it only sucks when I hear stuff like that because I've seen and heard ladies tell me, "Well, I can't work because my husband said I shouldn't work and focus on the family." What do you
Mm-mm.
think about that? Because I mean, I know you're an independent woman and everything. So, what's your take on that?
Um, if it would work with us having enough time for the baby,
Hmm.
I would. But that depends on if the man has like a really good job that can pay like all the bills and take care of everything.
Right,
That depends. But if he just have like a regular job, like a security guard, just like me, there's no way I'm quitting my job. Like we both have to work
right,
to get these bills in. So it depends on the situation. If we can really handle it, we'll just one parent working, yeah. But if we can't, no, I wouldn't do it.
right. So, what do you think are the responsibilities of a woman in a family? And when I'm talking family, I'm not talking like your mom, dad, and siblings. I'm talking you, your partner, your child, adopted kids, foster kids, and stuff like that. What do you think a woman's responsibility should be, or what do you think a woman's responsibilities are?
In the household,
Yes.
um, basically just doing everything around the house, making sure the kids are their homework. Feed everybody, cook. The men can cook too. Laundry. I feel like it should be 50-50.
Right.
Women shouldn't have to do like all the household things. Like men can pitch in too, but again, majority of women does everything in the house. It don't matter. And some women are jobless and they just be a stay at home mom while the man just has a job.
Right.
That's something I don't want to do unless what I said earlier, the man has a
Right.
good job. Hmm.
Right. So you believe in the where they say relationship is 50-50? Is that your belief, or is it just when it comes to like household responsibilities, or is that your general belief on relationship period, like it got to be 50-50?
Uh, not not for everything. It just depends on the situation. Like, if we go out to eat, I wouldn't mind paying for both of us, but if my husband want to pay, he can, or we talk about it like
Right.
adults. But basically in a household, it should be 50-50. Definitely in a household on
Okay.
bills, food, and all that stuff.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. I mean, I get that part, but like with me, I've usually believed and understood the fact that marriage, relationships, and whatever is never being 50-50. Is usually never balanced. Like there are times where it will be 50-50, don't get me wrong, where you have your part and I have my part. And there are times where I don't have my part and you just have to cover it up. And there are times where you don't have your part and I got to cover it up. And there are times where you only have 10% of it and I got to cover 90. And, I've never really believed any kind of relationship, whatever, friendship, any kind of thing, any kind of relationship at all as being 50-50. Because, I mean, later on along the line, if you believe it got to be 50-50, there's going to be a problem. I mean, that's the way I've seen it because I've seen
So
other
you,
people.
so you would rather just pay for everything?
I mean, I'm not going to say I'm rather going to do that, but
Mhm.
then if I have to, it's not going to be a problem. Because on the day where I don't have it, it better not be a problem for you too if you got to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh
don't
yeah.
believe that it's got to be my duty to pay for stuff. And I wouldn't believe it got to be your duty too, because there are times where I'm going to need you to cover it up. You know what I'm saying? So it's not
Mhm.
like solely, oh, I would rather do this. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a very bad trait, and that trait is me wanting to cover things like I want to handle it. I want to handle it. I would handle it and all of that. But I I I don't like when people take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh.
in as much as I would show you like, okay, I can cover it, I can handle my business.
So you just don't want to do it just as much.
Right, right,
Okay.
exactly, exactly. Like so, that's the way I see whatever kind of relationship, and this also applies to my friends, my family, my
Mm-hmm.
partner, my children. Don't get me wrong. I cover it up. I handle it. but then don't solely depend on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, especially with
'Cause-
friends, man. You got no. I had friends like that I had to cut off because I can't keep paying for you. You know, everywhere
right,
we go. If you want to go to the movies, the restaurants, it's just not happening. It's ridiculous that you don't have a job, no car. You know, you're not working towards your goals. You know, I had to cut them off.
right. I know what you mean. I totally understand. So, what is your take on setting standard? Or no, let me rephrase the question. What do you think a high standard or a standard above and above is for a woman? What do you think it is?
Basically a woman who just want all the nice things and she wants to be, you know, the best in life. You know, she wants a rich man, maybe, I know a good job, money, a house, nice car, and she expects the man to basically have all this stuff, you know, and not her. But sometimes it varies, you know what I mean? And I feel like a handstander woman would definitely want something big out of a man.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you think a woman who wants a rich man and wants a very expensive car and
Mm-hmm.
want a big house and wants expensive purses, expensive clothes, expensive shoes, you think that's a high standard for a woman? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, and as far as the man, she want the man to have the same thing too. So basically, she wouldn't go for no broke man because she has a high
Right.
standard. She wants a rich man.
Okay. Okay. So excluding relationship, like just talking in general, like their life in general, what do you think a high standard for a woman is like? And when I say high standard, I'm not saying like a high standard where it's like where it can be managed. I'm saying like a high and above standard that's a problem.
Um, so you mean high standard as in what a woman wants out of life?
So you know where they say, well, she's doing too much just because of her standard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what do you consider doing too much in your like in a woman's standard?
Um, I would say maybe she's just too above herself. Maybe she just wants everything basically, like not as far as relationship, but like as far as other things like having jobs or anything for a high standard woman. You know, I think she just expect the greatest in her life. Basically, she just I feel like she was me. I don't see myself as high standards. I have regular standards. I couldn't really see what a high standard woman want, but with my standards, as far as my life, I know I would just want to just really make it, take care of myself, you know, my bills and everything, and you know, stuff like that.
Okay, so like in a situation of a lady, let me just kind of paint a scenario. A situation of a lady who grew up in a very poor family. They barely had anything to eat, and when they did have anything to eat, it's like crumbs, yeah? And she grew up and now she's, a little better, not really poor, but not exceptionally rich. Would you consider her wanting better than what she had when she was young, a high standard, or no?
So I'll say that last part one more time.
Would you consider her wanting better than what she had, a high standard, or no?
Um, no, because she doesn't want more, is what you said. She'll just keep irregular what she has to eat.
No,
Then
that
what?
wasn't the. So let me say it again. So a lady who grew up right in a family that was real poor, they barely had anything to eat. And when they eventually got something to eat, it's the crumbs. But then she grew out of it and became like a grown up lady. And now she's not rich, but she's not poor either. So her wanting more than what she has or what she had, would that be considered a high standard? Like, okay, say she can only afford to get to go out once a week. Yeah. And so she gets with somebody who is willing to be with her, and she's telling him, well, you got to take me out at least 4 times a week. Would you consider something like that a high standard?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because, like you said, she didn't have anything when she was young, so now she really wants everything because she
Right.
has it.
Right. Okay. Okay. All right. We've come to the end of today's episode. I feel like this is going to be the beginning of a series, Life of Being a Woman. We're going to have more series on this topic come on. So expect more where we're going to talk about what's going on in a woman's life, how she handling her business, how women are doing out there and everything. So yes, I'm excited for this series. But
Yes.
yeah, don't forget to say that again.
I say yes, me too.
Right. All right. Don't forget to share this podcast with your friends, family members, with acquaintances, even enemies. But most especially, share this episode with a woman. And just
Yes.
before we leave, women out there who are struggling, get help. Mentally, physically, emotionally, any kind of way you think you're struggling, get help. Because, I mean, you can't really be a woman if you're struggling with whatever. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
limit you and it's going to cut you short in stuff that you need to do and get done. So get help. It might be professional help. It could be like people you can talk to, because not everybody can really deal with having to see a therapist. Because I know I really don't like having to talk to a professional. So, like, not everybody likes doing that. So, if you don't like a professional help, get somebody you can trust that has been through what happened with you, or that's been through what's going on with you right now and has gone past it and is doing better.
Yeah.
Get them, talk to them, and get help from them, because everybody needs everybody. We all need each other, and we got to be strong for each other. Okay.
That's
So
right.
until we see you next time, next week, same time at 5 p.m., follow our Instagram page at let's underscore just underscore talk 001. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at Let's Just Talk with Victoria. Follow our TikTok page at let's underscore just underscore talk 001. Also, we have another TikTok, which is Let's Just Talk with Victoria. Then you can also find us on Apple Podcast and Spotify at Let's Just Talk. We'll see you again next week. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you have a good week.
Have a nice
Bye.
week. Bye.
Bye.